how do I put a bass line on a soul beat, right? Like a soul sample. Don't try to compete with it, just accent it. What's good, y'all? Welcome to Lab and Legacy, spaces, tools, and techniques to spark the creative flame. Today the space is the Apparel Lab, also known as my garage. The tool we're gonna be using is the MPC Live 2 in standalone mode, but the technique really can apply to any type of beat making platform that you use. So I've been listening to a lot of 38 Special lately. Really dope rapper from, I think, Rochester, New York, definitely upstate New York. He's kind of like a Griselda associate, but I believe he's independent. He has similar style beats as Griselda, but they tend to be more soulful. Not really kind of like the dark dissonant chords that you'll hear on a Griselda beat. So I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping this sample up, put some drums together, see what we come up with. All right, so here's the sample I just picked up. Doesn't really need much, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm just gonna chop that.
It was only yesterday when you stole.
It's got a lot of good parts. Then we're gonna switch that up. So listen, a question I get all the time, and when I say all the time, I mean all the time, is how do I put a bass line on a soul beat, right? Like a soul sample. A couple things you gotta understand, right? When you sample from a soul record, these bass players that they had at that time when they was recording these were some of the best bass players in the world, right? So you're not gonna outperform them with pads. These guys are doing all kind of detailed stuff on those bass guitars. For instance, let's listen to this sample. Fam, you're not gonna do that on MPC pads or any sampler, you know what I'm saying? So it's not to say you can't try, but realistically, when you have a sample that's really busy with the bass line, don't try to compete with it, just accent it. One or two notes with a sub bass or just a really low bass to kind of complement the root note is gonna put you on the right track. And this time I actually use an 808. If you look back at guys like RZA, early No ID stuff, Havoc, you know, those guys would use an 808 in strategic places just to add a little boom to the beat. That's what I did here. Let's check it out. All right, and don't be afraid to go in here and actually tune them up. Sometimes, you know, if you had a bass hitting too early, you can have a bass hitting a little late. This is something that Marco Polo told me in our interview, and I agree with him 100%. You can have a bass hitting a little late, but you never want the bass to hit early. So with this, you know, I'll go in and I'll just basically touch up every note. I'll go to edit start. So let's say that one was a little fast, right? And see how bad it sounds. Yeah, that's too much, right? So back it down, put it a little behind the note. And I already have the attack really slow on this bass. It's gonna hit late anyway. If I have it right on the line, right on the grid, it's still gonna hit a little late because of the very long attack that I have on it. Now, a question I see a lot as well is how do I take a sample and make additional sequences with it? Kind of one technique that I like to use is filters. I talked about this before in the video, but this is something that I use all the time. I'm gonna take this part right here.
It was only yesterday when you stole my heart away. But now this is the end.
All right, so filter, this sounds like this. And I just took the touch effects and automated it. All right, so I got caught up making beats today. We're gonna go ahead and play this beat. In the meantime, I'm gonna get over here. I got some hoodies to press up. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting the MPC Gang varsity hoodies. I've been getting them out as fast as I can. I got a few to press up and ship out today. So I'm gonna go ahead and press these up while the beat is playing, try to kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's get to work.
Actually enjoy the creative process. I like to make the movie. I like to edit the movie. I like to make the clothes. I like to make the music. I like the creative process. So like where you at now, this ain't a studio, this is my office. You know, because I need to be able to do all these different things because that's what I do. There is a time for business, but there's a time to make music. There's a time to shoot. There's a time to design.
See what this is hitting for. Ooh, it's looking right. Man, these came out crazy. Definitely my favorite hoodie I made so far. Gang on the back. And I also made them in the Retro King. So basically we got the X, the One, and the Live 2 in the Retro. You can get them in black with the Retros, but I just wanted to put it on the red to see what it looks like. This came out crazy too. So the patch is a little different on the Retros. I went with the gray, kind of retro style patch. And people always ask me like, you know, how do you know something's gonna sell? You never really know. I mean, at the same time, I kind of make stuff for myself. So it's like, if nobody buys it, I'm gonna love it regardless. My pride and joy, this is stuff that I like to rock. So I don't make nothing cheap. Everything is premium materials. I get the best materials I can. These are like 60-40 poly blends. See the Live Legacy logo on the sleeve. So I'm bringing everything together under this Live Legacy brand because I really want to just inspire creative people using my work. And this is what I'm leaving behind, man. These things are going all over the world, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie Scythe, actually shipped one to Canada. Shout out to all my international homies that pick stuff up. I try to send stuff overseas when I can, but the shipping does get kind of expensive. My wardrobe gonna be sick for Christmas. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. I appreciate y'all tapping in today. Stay true, stay inspired. Keep that flame lit, baby. Peace.